Hello, my name is Cark82, and welcome back to our GregTech New Horizons Season 2. As you can see, we have a 500-second craft at 128 million EU per tick. We are really doing the expensive crafts now. We got our UIV energy hatches last episode, and they were like surprisingly easy. I feel like as we've gone on in the pack, the next tier of energy hatches seem to be getting easier and easier. I remember like way in the beginning, just getting the next tier up was like a serious endeavor with all the different parts. But yeah, as we've gotten like higher and higher, it's like it took me like a couple hours, not even, of just doing some recipes and expanding some of my infrastructure to accommodate some of the higher tier recipes. But yeah, so we're doing that. I don't know if I'm going to use them right away, but this quest is locked behind it. And the reason it is locked behind that is because of this field generator recipe. Now, I don't think we need these right this second, but I am noticing there is a something to work towards. We will definitely be getting that, but yeah, we're pretty far away from that at this point. But yeah, I wanted to get that done so I can start at least checking off some of these components as I get them, because unfortunately I've gotten them. At least the motor and the pump, I've actually held both of those, but unfortunately they don't register because it is locked behind that. But there we go. That is that. Now, the DTPF with our hypogen, I've been trying to figure out how I want to go about doing that. I was thinking about maybe throwing a crafting card on the thing. I don't know. This might be kind of crazy, but I would like to at least fill that up moving forward. Because I need to get these hypogen coils, and we need lots of hypogen, so I need to get it crafting up. So we might as well get it going. I just don't want it to like go through all our resources all at once. But we might be short on something. Sometimes when it doesn't kick in. Oh, no, we have everything. I'm not sure why the crafting card wasn't registering. I could also do I could do a level maintainer instead of the crafting card. I do kind of prefer those. Maybe I'll do that instead. Yeah, sometimes those act a bit funny. So why don't I set that up? I'll just do like a small amount. So hold that right there so I can drag that in there. All right, cool. So I don't know. I'm just starting off like really small just before we get doing that. So I'm going to do 2880, I think. That is 2 crafts. Sort of. Because I do have, you do actually get more from it, but that is, I have it set to do 1 less because you use the 1 to craft that up. But yeah, I just want to kind of get that going. The quantum takes a little while on our mega alloy glass smeltery. I think we're up. Yeah, we are using 256 amps. So, I mean, we're not exactly, we're not cheaping out on the alloy smelter, but yeah, it just takes a while, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll get that going. Did we get the Pico? We did. All right, here we go. Ding. 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 There we go. We got our ding, and that opened up the next bit. All right, that felt That feels better. It just kind of feels weird that it was locked behind that. All right, so where are we going next? Yeah, PCB Factory Tier 3, our Nanoforge Tier 3. That's pretty cool. Felt like we were never going to get here. It does seem like the hypogen coils are like the next big thing we need to do here. Also, I've never really done any of these solars. That's why that is not unlocked. Really should just get that unlocked. Again, it's going to be a lot of shift clicking recipes into NEI, which is a bit of a pain. Oh, that's chaotic core. I actually don't know where... Ah, right there. So that's how you unlock that part. I wasn't sure. I kept thinking it started there, but no, that's the chaotic core. I was thinking that was the wyvern core. All right. So yeah, I do have to unlock that. That unlocks all this stuff, it looks like. I think this is locked behind all that, yeah. Which we do. I do want to get the infinity stuff. These, it doesn't really matter too much, but I definitely want the infinity armor. I like it. Some people don't like it. All right. So I guess let me, continue crafting up hypogen. Let me get maybe some of the components knocked off that quest, and we'll come back. All right. So I am crafting up all the circuits that we're going to need. Lots and lots of the bio mainframes. So I'm getting that going. And as I was expanding my BioWare, I was like, okay, so I'll add another one, maybe even more, but I'll get started with one. I was looking through recipes and I just happened to notice there is actually a new one, and I just realized messed this up. I forgot to fix this. Yes, so the other circuits needed indoloi, but that is not the case with these. These actually need living solder, and I'm just testing this out. And I think we'll do... Yeah, I think we'll try it. It seems to be more efficient if we do it this way. Can't remember, do we have like a living... I don't think we have a mutated living solder. I don't think we have a level maintainer. I don't remember. Oh, quicklime was for Anaquata. This one we actually don't do anymore. I'm gonna get rid of that. We'll do living solder. That was for one of the plasmas, but we just do it in the compact now. So I don't know, 100,000, 100,000. So we'll keep that in stock, and then the things over there will be kept in stock. Cool. There it goes. All right. I do need to switch these over, and they are a bit slower. Oh no! I just realized I built this for 7. Only 5. Whoops. Totally forgot that part of it. Yeah. Okay, so Niobium titanium, chromatic glass, which we have, but I might actually change how we go about doing that. But this living stuff is U matter, and this living bio wafer, you get 16. And then this is sterilized with some hypogen, which does make it a bit more expensive if we're trying to go towards that. But the reason I'm looking at this is because if you look at the actual thing, these no longer require these processing units, which are its own kind of craziness. So I think just overall it's going to be worth it cutting down, even though we use a little bit of hypogen. I think we'll be good. I actually have a whole thing full of hypogen now. I just had the thing crafting up, and eventually it just filled up EV. I think I'll leave EV right there, because that's like 800. Yeah, that's almost 900 ingots of hypogen. So that didn't take that long to fill up, to be honest, with the auto crafting that we have set up. Okay, so I do need to fix these really quick. I set them up to do... If I could get to the right one. I set them up originally to do just the regular, and then I just happened to see this as I was scrolling through. I was like, what's this 3? Okay, and then also chromatic glass. I think I'm actually going to switch this. I may actually switch it to this recipe. So you get 8 stacks of glass all at once, because doing it in the other way is very, very slow. Chromatic. There. It keeps changing color. I was looking for like a pink one, but I couldn't find it. Yes. So yeah, 300 seconds, and you need 64 glass to get one, whereas I can get 8 stacks of actual glass and not have to do that all at once. So I think I'm going to switch that over. Let me switch this over, and that's annoying. That is really annoying. I just set this all up too. Actually, we'll be okay. It's not as... I was like... Yeah, actually, it's not going to be as bad as I thought. Alright, I fixed that. It wasn't too complicated. Switch this over. Yeah, not having to use those circuit boards, those processing units, or whatever they're called, is a pretty big motivation, to be honest. Alright, I think we're good. Output, we're all... I got the things upgraded already. Yeah, I think we're good. No valid recipe. Not a good sign. Alright, obviously I screwed something up here. What did I screw up? Oh shoot, I forgot to put that back in before I did that. That. Does not want to work. Alright, it's one of those like... Why am I blind? Did I may have... Alright. I gotta figure out what I did wrong here. I feel like they're exactly the same. What did I do? VV. Alright. Wrap. Wrap. Titanium wires. Chromatic bolts. Why you don't work? Okay, I figured out what it was. It was because the reason it was working, yeah, in the top one is because that was a brand new circuit assembler and an imprint, whereas this one was there from before I updated the mod pack, so it couldn't figure out that that was an actual recipe. So I just crafted up another controller, re-imprinted it with the bioprocessor, and now it is working. So yeah, that was just a little bit of a I don't know, it's not a bug, but yeah, from the update. Kind of messed that up with that new recipe. Also gone ahead and added the chromatic glass recipe over here. Because this bioprocessor recipe, which is not terrible, decently expensive. It's just like different, but it does cut down on the biocatalyst a lot. Like before, 1,000 of them was like, oh, I don't know. I think it was about 5 million sterilized biocatalyst, whereas now we're down to 900,000. You do like UU matter and stuff, obviously hypogen, but yeah, it's not. I just feel like it's a bit easier. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes if you wait to craft it up, it doesn't have the things in there. Okay, so I'm going to continue crafting this up. I think I need like, can't remember, 14. I want to say like 14,000. 14,000 for the 2,000 mainframes that we need. I can't remember the exact amount, but yeah, it is a decent amount. Also, I have drastically sped up our... Oh boy. I forgot to speed this up. Right, turn this off. Yes, I sped all these up, so it kind of threw off. Threw that off. So we were actually kind of wasting stuff. Oh well, that is relatively cheap. I gotta make sure that like empties out. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it around 6,400, 64,000. So if I don't do it fast enough, it slowly creeps up. But I don't want to do it too fast because then it drops way below it. Which I think I'm probably being a bit more cautious than needed. Alright, so that's pretty much perfect. Yep. Alright, so yeah, I sped all these up. And this is down to 22 seconds. I am actually tearing through the seaweed. Oh no, that was turned off when I was messing with power, probably. Alright, I may need to sort that out. Also, I added a much bigger tank just to keep it going. I think it was capped at 4 million before. I'm like, why do I have it capped? Now it'll shut off at like 500 million. So, alright, there we go. Right, it is actually the next morning in real life. I let the world run overnight, and as we can see, we have a little bit of an issue here. What I think actually happened was, usually the ore processing keeps up with it, sort of. I do have a lot of them on this one just for the best outputs, so I don't really have it set up for speed, as we can see. Very, very slowly it starts filling up, but usually it doesn't do that. And what happened was we actually ran out of lubricant for the ore processing, so it stopped ore processing, and then the space elevator just kept dumping ores in over and over and over and over. So we filled up all our drives. I am clearing it out just a little bit. We don't need all this stuff fully... we don't need all this stuff processed. So I am going to just kind of clear that out a little bit just to kind of get this moving again, because it is getting kind of clogged up. But what I think I'm going to do is actually just get another infinity chest. Now that the parts really aren't that complicated. It used to be the quantum chests were like the most annoying bit, but now I'm crafting up like literally thousands of BioWare circuits. Like, it's not that big of a deal anymore. And we pretty much sorted out the internal singularity. So I'm going to craft another one of that up, and then we will just dump all our ores and everything in the infinity chest, because that is just going to make this 1,000 times easier. And yeah, I don't necessarily need all this stuff running permanently, especially this one. This is just kind of random stuff that we don't really use anymore, but yeah, so that is what I'm going to do. And I switched over our lubricant to a different process. We were doing like heavy oil or something like that in a... Oh, I just realized what probably happened. I just realized that, no, I don't know. We're pumping heavy oil from somewhere. I think we're pumping it in the overworld, and maybe that chunk isn't loaded since I did the update. That's probably what broke it. But I switched over to a different way anyway. We are processing it with brewers. We're mixing regular oil with some redstone because it is quicker. So that is keeping up with all our stuff, and we are filling up our yacht tank with lubricant. Yeah, so we're already up to 10 million. I didn't have anything there. It couldn't keep up. So, alright, so that's kind of where we're at. I was crafting up 4,000. Oh, are we done? Oh, yeah, that went really quick, actually. I feel like that went quicker than I realized. I think we need about 16,000. I'm going to need a bit more, though, because if I do an infinity chest, yeah, we're going to need a bit more. Also, germanium. Okay, we got a bunch of germanium. We get it from this kind of random ore, which we can get from our space elevator. I just set a 230 to get albernite and then process that down. Germanium is a byproduct right there. It's not great, but yeah, and then I electrolyze this for germanium, and tellurium we don't really need, but gold, you know, it's kind of a bonus. So yeah, that was kind of a bit of a bottleneck, but let's do... We're going to need a heck of a lot of... Yep, there's some random things that we are short of. But I'm not doing this all at once. So I am processing it in chunks. Starting with the process... Alright, so we need about 4,500. And then lots of hypogen. So I wanted to get that going as well. I'll actually do... I don't know. Let's see if we can do 4,000 more. Oh, we can. All right. So I didn't know if we would have enough of the sterilized biocatalyst medium, but it appears we do. All right. So as that, I'm going to let that kind of go. It's going to craft up some more hypogen. And then I'm going to, yeah, this is going to craft up a bunch of hypogen, and then I will craft up a whole bunch more separately as that is working, kind of thing. Okay, so I am, as I've been kind of playing with the ETPF, I am kind of thinking that maybe I should keep each of the things in stock. So instead of doing the recipes with the catalyst, I would maybe have a hatch for each catalyst, or maybe do a quad per catalyst, because as I am kind of learning, you may notice we have extra in here, and I was a bit confused why we had extra, and that is because the more this runs, the more efficient it gets. So as I was crafting up all that hypogen, we ended up with an extra 12 buckets of this stuff. And I realized that looking at the thing, it says takes hours of continuous runtime to fully breach dimensional boundaries and achieve maximum efficiency. So I was noticing, like, every once in a while I would have a little bit extra of the catalyst. I wasn't quite sure. And then all of a sudden it like hit me like, oh, duh. And the reason we have so much here, I'm thinking, is because that hypogen recipe was 75 seconds. So it was actually running continuously for quite a few minutes as it was crafting up all our thing. So I think that's where that is coming from, if I understand that correctly. Not sure. Also, I need to store this. We're probably good. It's probably in a thing. Unfortunately, a lot of these are getting full of stuff I don't want in there. But it's okay, I think, for the time being. All right. I'm also looking at this advanced blocking card. I have heard a few things on Discord, and I have seen it mentioned a few times in the comments. So I do want to kind of mess with that, and figure like right now, as I'm crafting up all these circuits in the circuit assembly lines, like it's kind of doing its own thing. Perfect time to do stuff about this. Also, I should probably get a bunch of hypogen up and running while I'm thinking about it. So I don't know, 500,000. Sure. We need like 2 million of that or something like that. I can't remember the exact amount, but I figure, like I said, let's just get this up crafting as we're doing other stuff, just because it takes such a long time. All right, so what I think what I'm reading with the advanced blocking card is that it can read the subnet instead of just an adjacent like inventory. So if I have items in here, it'll see that there's items in there, and it can't push the recipe. So I think I'm going to overhaul most of these, or at least these two. Can also use the advanced blocking card on the advanced assembly lines. I don't know if I'm like smart enough to figure that out, but maybe. All right, so what I'm thinking is, first we need to get rid of these. We don't need these anymore. That has been changed. And we don't need this anymore, because we were using the P2P tunnel, the item, to kind of trick the A system into it. So I think all this craziness can just go, to be honest. I think we're basically just going to do a dual interface on another dual interface, I think. Whoops. I just like broke my entire network. Right, that's what I meant to do. Yeah, and then I don't think we need these anymore. Oh, actually, yeah, we will still need these. The P2P ME interfaces are for splitting up the recipes. That's what that is. All right, so I'm doing like, there's two separate things here. I am trying to accomplish. The first one is, getting rid of all these. So I'm going to do that. All right, so 19, 18. Yeah, and then we basically put them directly on. I always get like the most random like achievements. It's because when you pull them directly from AE, you don't always, it doesn't register as picking it up sometimes. So I don't think we have to worry about fuzzy cards and all that stuff. We literally just put, yeah. Oh, it's going to be fluid storage buses. Oh, actually, I don't think these need to be 19. I'll just keep them as 19. But this is going to be... like, these are their own separate thing. It's not going to clash with those, so I don't think... you probably could just do 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that. 16? I don't know. We'll see. That one there. Right. So yeah, I think that'll work. This. All right. So I think I need... yeah, P to P on there. And then we hook that up to there. And then instead of having to do this kind of craziness, we just do the P to P directly on the, like, a side of this dual interface is what I think is how this is going to work. I could be completely wrong here, and I just kind of ruined everything. Let's do... need... need to switch that to interface. Is that gonna work? I don't remember how to switch the... I can't remember what to click on it to get it to switch to the interface. Is it one of those? Oh, all right. Let me remember how to do the EBI interfaces. It's been a while since I have done that. Okay, so kind of forgot that I need the dual interfaces and a dual interface P2P now. So gone ahead and done that. Also forgot that they are craftable. It's not, you don't click on it like some of the other ones. Yeah, so you just craft it. But the reason we don't need the decoder things anymore is because they added a dual interface P2P tunnel. We had to get around that limitation before. That's why we had to do the packet decoders. So yeah, gone ahead, put down the P2P dual interface. We got the other one right here. I switched over all the recipes from the old into the dual interface. And there are that set up. And then I connected it to this P2P dual interface right there. And then as you add more assembly lines, you just connect them all. So input and then output into each of them. Basically the same as before. We are just getting around the limitation with the P2P things. Now with these as well, I can just switch out these into a dual interface, and then I just put the dual interface like the other one directly on there. So we can have we could have up to 5, can't we? So up to 5 without needing transvector interfaces now, which is pretty cool. That would be quite a few recipes. Also, blocking mode in there, the blocking card in there, and then you need to set this to blocking mode on the P2P tunnel. I think this just basically lets this blocking mode see the whole subnet, is from what I'm getting. But yeah, I've gone ahead and tried to craft up 2 motors. I have it's turned off at the moment, so it's not running, just to test this. And as we can see, it's put the 1 motor in there, but it hasn't put the second craft in there because it's seen items in there. If it wasn't doing blocking mode, it would add these 3 storage buses would have items in it. And yeah, so that is, I think, all set up. There is lots of little things all over the base that can be improved. I just haven't got to them yet. And like I said, as I'm crafting up these coils, I am working on it. A lot of things like replacing input buses with the crafting input buses now to deal with lag. I have noticed a couple comments about the singularities. Obviously, I have gotten way past that episode, but yeah, so we'd replace the super bus with the crafting input bus, and that would make the, 10 million blocks that we need for all the singularities much quicker, as they can just pull directly from ME. So just lots and lots of improvements that I am slowly getting to in the base, because it's that's a pretty big change. I'm gonna throw them over here. I was delaying it a little bit with the crafting input buses until we got like the one that does fluid as well. I know we're still a ways away from it, but yeah, that's why I wasn't like rushing to do that. But there are definitely some places all over the base, and really going forward we should be using the crafting buses anyway, because it's so much quicker than doing it like this. It doesn't have to wait for the items to go in the multi-block. So like all of these, I could just switch these all out with crafting buses, but they are relatively expensive. It's not like, oh wait, no, these are fine. It's the one, these are expensive. Yeah, they're not too bad. So I am working on it. But anyway, that is going to be it for today. We are cruising along here. I've got 16,000 bioprocessors now. Need to work on the next part of it, which I think I need like 8,000 of those or something like that. So there we go. I'm crafting up 4,000 of those circuits, and seems to be something stuck here, and I'm not entirely sure what's stuck. But that was odd. So yeah, there seems to be something stuck somewhere. I don't know. Like, why is that not crafting up? That is probably working, and why is that not crafting up? I gotta do a little look around and see what's going on with that. But that is why I like to do these big crafts, so we can see where we got issues going on in the base. Am I out of like a fluid or something like that? Maybe, I don't know. All right, anyway, I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.